Hey lovelies, it's Mrs. Bryan again. Welcome to the next day of Flip Classroom. Go ahead and turn into your ISNs and title the page, Solving Equations with Variables on Both Sides. We are going to continue that and add a little piece at the end. So, turn in your ISN and title it Solving Equations with Variables on Both Sides. When you're done with that, you can press play again. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. You'll notice that the difference between what we've been doing and what we're fixing to do today is that we are given a word problem and we are going to have to come up with the equation and then solve and answer the questions at the end. So, Mamma Mia's Pizza sells pizzas for $8 each and charges a $4 delivery fee per order. Antonio's Pizzeria sells pizzas for $6 each and charges a delivery fee of $10 per order. For what number of pizzas will the cost of the restaurants be the same for a single order? So we are looking for number of pizzas, okay? So to get started, we take the first information up here and we need to write an expression that matches that. So Mamma Mia's, I'm going to put it as MM, sells pizzas for $8 each. This each word right here tells you that that's where the variable goes. So $8 each, so 8x. And means plus in math world, plus a $4 delivery fee. So that is your first expression. Now, you're going to set them equal to each other because it says for what number of pizzas will the cost of the restaurants be the same. So that's why you know to set it equal to each other. And then you have Antonio's Pizzeria on this side. He sells pizzas for $6 each, so 6x, because that each is the key word. And charges, and means plus a delivery fee of $10. Now we have something that we can solve and figure out how much x is. And that's what it's asking, is how many pizzas will they be equivalent. So I want to move my 6x because it's smaller and it'll stay positive. So minus 6x minus 6x. Those cancel. I'm left with 2x plus 4 equals 10. I know I need x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 4, subtract 4. 2x equals 6, divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 3. So each restaurant needs to charge each restaurant needs to sell 3 pizzas for them to have the same cost. In order to solve that, or in order to check our answer, remember we want to check our answer, so x equals $3. Alright, so if we know that p or x equals 3, then replace each p with a 3 to see if both sides have equal values. That's how you check to see if your answer is right. So 8 times 3 plus 4 equals 6 times 3 plus 10. 8 times 3 is 24 plus 4 is 28 equals 6 times 3 is 18 plus 10 is 28. You know that your answer is correct. This would go, if you wanted to check on your calculator, this would go in Y1, this would go in Y2, and then you would scroll to where it says x equals 3 and make sure that both of the answers were that. And this is what this looks like. So 8p plus 4 would be in Y1, 6p plus 10 would be in Y2. You'd hit second graph to go to the table, and if you scroll to where x equals 3, you notice that these two numbers are the same. Okay? We know that as having one solution because there's only one time that the answers in Y1 and Y2 will both be the same. So let's talk about this problem. What does this solution actually mean? P equals 3. It means the number of pizzas which make the cost at Mamma Mia's for one order, or 8p plus 4, the same as the cost at Antonio's Pizza for his 6p plus 10 is 3 pizzas. We know that each place has to sell 3 pizzas in order for them to be equivalent. Alright, so let's go to another example. Perfect Pizza sells pizzas for $7 each and charges a $4 delivery fee per order. So we can go ahead and write that expression. Perfect Pizza So we have $7 each plus $4. And right here, to order this to be the same, so we know there's an equivalent sign or an equal sign. And then it says House of Pizza, HP, also charges $7 per pizza, but has a delivery fee of $9. Shayla has a coupon for $5 off the cost of delivery fee at House of Pizza. So we know that that's going to be a -5. If Shayla uses her coupon, what number of pizzas will she need to order for the cost of both restaurants to be the same? Well, now we can solve. But before I can solve, I can go ahead and combine that. So I have 7x plus 4 equals 7x plus 4. Remember, we want variables all on the same side, so minus 7x, minus 7x. Those cancel and those cancel, so you're left with 4 equals 4. What do you notice about these solutions? When you have the same number on one side and you have the same number on the other, you're going to have infinite solutions. And you can see that at the top where we first started before we ever solved. You notice that 7x plus 4 was exactly the same as 7x plus 4. So no matter what number you plug in for x, you're going to get the same answer on both sides. So let's look at what it looks like on the calculator. If you were to put 7p plus 4 on y1 and 7p plus 9 minus 5 on y2, you will notice that no matter what x you stick in, you have the same answer on y1 and y2. That means you have infinite solutions. So let's talk about what this means. The number of pizzas, which makes the cost at Perfect Pizza for one order, which is 7p plus 4, the same as the cost at House of Pizza for one order, which is 7p plus 9 minus 5, is any positive number. Both restaurants have the same deal if Shayla uses her coupon. Okay? Let's do our next example. Marco's Pizza charges $5 per pizza and a delivery fee of $10. Romano's Pizza charges $5 per pizza and a delivery charge of $8. For what number of pizzas will the cost be the same? So we know we have an equal sign here. Now that we know we have an equation we can solve, we can go ahead and solve. So minus 5x minus 5x. Those cancel, you're left with 10 equals 8. If we just worked an example that we knew that you had the same number on both sides of the equal sign and it had infinite solutions, what do you notice about this example? You'll notice that you have different answers on both sides of the equal sign and they cannot be equivalent. So what we have is no solutions. All right? So let's go into detail here. Let's go ahead and look at what our calculator would say. If we entered 5p plus 10 in y1 and 5p plus 8 in y2, you'll notice that you're never going to get the same number in y1 and y2, and that tells you that you will not have a solution for this problem. So let's see what it means right here. There is no number of pizzas which makes the cost at Marco's Pizza for one order the same as the cost at Romano's. There are no number of pizzas. And you can tell that because you had two different numbers on the sign on each side of the equal sign. Both restaurants charge the same amount for the pizza but different delivery fees, so the cost will always differ by $2 because one charges 10 and one charges 8. Now, I hope you copied those 3 examples in your ISN. If you didn't, you need to rewind and copy them down. But what I'm interested in is this right here. You need to write variables on both sides of the equation with one solution, and you need to write, when solving is complete, you have a true statement. There is only one value for x that makes both sides of the equation have the same y value, and there are two lines that intersect at one point. That's how you know that you only have one solution. Now, when you have infinite solutions, when solving is complete, you have a true statement, and that would mean 4 equals 4, right? It's true. There are infinite values for x that make both sides of the equation have the same y value, and there is only one line. And when you have no solutions, you have a false statement. And what that means would be 10 does not equal 8. There are no values for x that make both sides of the equation have the same y value, and there are two lines that are parallel. Okay? You need to make sure that you have all of this written in your ISN after the examples we just did. That's it for the video today. Tomorrow we will be doing the equation shuffle. So make sure you come in ready to work some problems. Again, make sure you have the 3 examples written in your ISN, and make sure you have these 3 statements about these 3 solutions written in your ISN. If you have any questions, please make sure you bring them to class tomorrow. Have a good evening, everyone.